So my buddy takes this contract on a real estate deal into the title company at the exact same time that someone is buying the property. And basically he negotiated to get it for $300,000 and then sold it for $380,000. And basically when the closing was done, he pocketed $80,000. And I'm like, bro, that does not sound legal. That sounds kind of shady. And that type of strategy in real estate is called wholesaling. And today we're gonna dive into the legalities of wholesaling because it makes some people rich, but the question is it legal? All right, I need to start by just sharing that I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, right? Like for the last 20 years, I've been in the buy and hold game of real estate. I have facilitated over 6,000 transactions, over $2 billion in real estate. And the whole time, the strategy is we're gonna buy it, we're gonna hold it for a period of time, we're gonna rent it for a few years, we're gonna let it go up in value, we're gonna let the tenants pay it down, we're gonna have a positive cash flow, and then eventually we're gonna sell it and we're gonna trade one home for 3 homes, and then we're gonna trade 3 homes for 10 homes, and we're gonna build with time, sure and steady, slow wins the race. We're gonna build a portfolio, a multi-million-dollar portfolio so that you can retire. And I've done this literally with people all over the world. But I got some buddies that I have made over the years that do a different game in real estate. And they're like, bro, why are you doing the buy and hold game? Check it out. I got a sweet deal on this home. I picked it up for $200,000. I just sold it for $250,000 and I pocketed $50,000. Krohn, it's called wholesaling. And I make millions of dollars a year doing this. Why aren't you doing more of that? And I have to tell you that the buy and hold game and the flipping game, they've always been a little bit at odds with each other because one of them is making quick dough and the other one is like making millions of dollars with time. So I come into this with a little bit of stigma because I do believe in flipping. But wholesaling is not the same thing, right? With a flip, you're actually purchasing a property, you're renovating the property, you're relisting the property, you're selling the property, and then you make money. But wholesaling is a bit of a different game, right? Because all you're doing is finding a good deal and getting it under contract, and then you're assigning that to another person to buy it at a higher price. And when they go to buy it, you get cashed out. And I always thought that sounded super fishy. So today we're gonna make it official. We're gonna find out if this game actually legal or is someone skirting around the edge and is someone gonna land with a very special pair of bracelets in jail. Per Investopedia, real estate wholesaling is basically a short-term investment strategy where someone is buying a property at a discount, they get it under contract, and then they transfer that contract, they assign it to a buyer at a higher price. And basically when that person goes to buy it, they're gonna make whatever they negotiate in the middle. I've got some buddies like Carlos Reyes and Sal Shakir that when they do real estate deals, they focus on making at least $20,000, but even on a bad deal, they make a quick $10,000. But they've even done deals where they make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like there's this one deal where they made over $600,000 and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Real estate wholesalers generally deal in distressed properties. So the whole nature of this game is really more about marketing than anything else. Is you've got to figure out how to market to people that might be going into foreclosure. You've got to market to people that didn't pay their taxes. Maybe they're defaulting on other debts. And basically these wholesalers have a list of all these people getting divorced and having problems and whatever. And they're basically making an assumption. If we market to thousands, tens of thousands of these people, there's got to be a handful of them that would love an all cash offer. And it's kind of tempting because put yourself in the shoes of someone who's financially distressed. It's like, I'm not keeping up with my bills. I'm maxing out my credit cards. I just lost my job. Something happened. And then you get this letter in the mail or you receive an email or a text that basically says, hey, I'm interested in buying your home cash. Would you like an all cash offer? And if you're in a pinch and you know you've got equity in your home, meaning it's worth more than what you owe, it might be easy to say, yeah, I would entertain an offer, especially when they start saying things like, dude, I'll cash you out in 7 days. I'll cash you out this month. Like it's an all cash now offer. And it's like, this could actually make some of my problems go away. I'd be able to pay my dental bills. I'd be able to get caught up on my credit cards. Literally, I guess I'd have to walk from the house, but all my financial problems would go away. I just defined the whole nature of why good deals are always going to exist in any economy, because it doesn't have to do with whether real estate is going up or down in value. The fact is, someone bought real estate a long time ago and now they're in financial duress. And in many of these situations, they need someone to solve their problem. And this brings up a whole other moral quandary for me where I'm like, oh, is this ambulance chasing? Like, are we solving people's problems or are we taking advantage of people like right at the worst moment in their life? And it kind of depends on how you look at it. Because you would think, well, if someone's house is worth $300,000 and they only owe $200,000 on it, why don't they just list it and sell it? Well, one of the reasons why they don't list it and sell it is, number one, their house is in disrepair. it's dilapidated, it has deferred maintenance issues. And they're like, I need $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 maybe to catch up on my house. I gotta redo the kitchen and I have to trade out the carpet and the paint. And then they're thinking, I'm not a contractor, I don't know how to do these things. So they get stressed and overwhelmed, nor do they have the money. And this is what gets a lot of these people feeling like they're in a tight pinch, because realtors and everyone will tell them, dude, don't list your house in that condition. You're gonna have to discount it hugely. And so now they get kind of stuck where they're like, I don't know what to do. And I'm positive that there are some bastards out there that are like, I'm just gonna take advantage of people. But I've also met a lot of the cool people out there that are like, no, I find people that are in a pinch. And if I can get them an all cash offer that works for them in a very short period of time, I'm solving one of their biggest headaches. And sometimes they come out of those deals like hugging me, kissing me, thank you letters. Like if you hadn't been here, I would have gone under. I would have lost my house. I would have lost everything. So I guess ultimately you have to decide like, what kind of person are you? I subscribe to like the part of like peopleness and humanity where I'm like, dude, let's help humans. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people that do a lot of good, but that doesn't necessarily resolve the legalities issue. So let's first talk about how you theoretically make money in the game, and then let's talk about where it actually does become illegal. So here's how wholesalers essentially make money. Step one is they find really good below market deals with the kind of marketing that I've been talking about. And if you're interested in some of those marketing strategies, you can watch this video right here, and I'll show you a number of different ways that wholesalers actually identify and find really good deals at steep discounts. Once they find the deal, then they have to negotiate. They actually have to talk to the person selling the home and basically understand their financial situation, understand their debts, understanding what they need, and then ultimately propose an offer that leaves some money on the table for them to make the deal worthwhile. The contract they use ultimately determines whether this is going to be legal or illegal, so I'm going to get more on that in just a moment. But afterwards, they now have to find a buyer. They have to go to an investor community for the most part and basically say, hey, this house is worth X and I've discounted it for a lot less. Who will take this asking price? And one of the things that I've learned is that there's always money in the market for a good deal. And so all you have to do is put yourself out there. In fact, this is probably the easiest part of the business, is going out to the investor community and basically saying, hey, here's the property I got fixed up. This is what it is CMAing at. That means a comparable market analysis, what the after repair value is going to look like. And this is what I got it for. And basically, if the investor sees enough margin, like if I buy it for this price of $250,000, fix it up and sell it for $350, I'm going to net 40 grand. I'm going to net 60 grand. Yes, that's worthwhile to me. So yeah, I have a contact where I can buy this cash, and all of a sudden the wholesaler now has the possibility of getting paid. The last step in the process is basically getting all the paperwork over to a title company that is investor friendly, that's like, okay, this is kind of creative what you're doing here. It's not very typical. Basically, you've got a contract to buy this house at a lower price. I see that you assigned it to somebody at a higher price. And when we, the title company, like officially close on this deal and do all the title work, we got to cut checks to the bank for what they're owed, and the person selling the house is going to get some money. And you, as the middleman, if you will, the middle woman that's doing the deal, you also have a cut too. So yeah, we'll get you your check as well. And that's it. Now you've successfully done a deal. And I got buddies in the marketplace that are literally doing deals every single week, which means they're making sometimes $10, $20, $30, $40,000 on a weekly basis. My buddies that are making millions of dollars a year, they basically turn this into a machine. And kind of the cool part is they found a way to outsource it where they don't even have to be super involved in the business. I mean, my buddy Carlos Reyes that has been doing this for the last decade, it's been, I think, 5 or 6 years since he's even stepped foot on a property to swing a hammer, hire someone to swing a hammer, or even look at a property. He literally makes mailbox money because he's developed a team that literally just does all of this just for him. So let's talk about the legality of this thing and why the question even comes up. Because what I just described in the beginning of like, hey, is it kind of shady for me to negotiate a property at a low price and then literally sell it to someone at a higher price and be the middle person that makes the money in the middle? Believe it or not, it's true. That in and itself is actually legal. However, there are some things that you can do that can make this illegal. Wholesaling is legal, but you still need to be strategic in your verbiage on your contracts. It should be noted that on your contract, the buyer's name as ABC Wholesaler and or assigns is what's really important, because what you're doing there is you're basically saying, I'm gonna buy the house, here's my company's name or my name, but you have to have this special language, and or assigns. That means that you're agreeing to let me buy it at this price, and anyone else that I assign it to, even at a higher price, you still have to sell me the property at the lower price, and that's what you're agreeing to. you also want to feel free to have an open discussion about this verbiage with your seller. Keep in mind that you want to do everything at the highest level of integrity, which means disclosure. You want everyone to know what you're doing. For example, you're agreeing at this price and my business partner, someone I may or may not know, is going to come in and provide the cash for doing the deal, and I know how to find them and I'm going to get this deal done. Many inexperienced real estate wholesalers get in trouble because they blur the line between wholesaling and brokering a real estate deal without a license. Understand that by law, you have to have a license if you're technically brokering real estate deals, which means your contract really does need to be set up the right way. Otherwise, you might be accused of that, and that could be bad news bears. So to be clear, you don't have to have a realtor's license to do this. If you do, there can be advantages, like you have access to the MLS, so you like the largest network of homes that are for sale. But I'm also going to tell you that the majority of deals that you're going to do are not the kind of things that you find on the multiple listings service, the MLS. You actually find them pre-market. You're finding pre-foreclosures. You're finding people that are in some kind of distress, and you're basically sending out letters to these people, emails to these people, texts to these people, and it's a huge automated system where once you set it up, it just kind of automatically does its thing, and then people start contacting you saying, hey, I'm interested in one of your all cash offers. Getting the contract right is very, very important, because essentially once you assign it, you get paid your portion, and then you're walking from all liability. Like, this house is now on the buyer's hands, it's them, and you're out. Like, it's over. Having a transparent, clear, and concise and well-written purchase contract will not only legally protect you, but it will also cut short the argument or even the perception that you're entering into any kind of illegal action. Which means the final verdict on wholesaling is that it is 100% above board, and it's actually a really great way to serve and help people. It's also a way to get yourself into six-figure earnings, because if you're still stuck, especially making less than $100,000 a year, you might be doing it the hard way. A lot of people, what they love about getting into wholesaling is a little bit of hustle can produce a really big financial reward, and that kind of begs the question, okay, where do I get that contract? Where do I learn marketing? Who's actually going to show me the ropes? Because it sounds like it doesn't take a whole lot to figure this out and get this up and going. And if you're interested in that, you can click the link below, and I'm going to introduce you to my favorite partners that rock this all day long. I've scoured the entire market. They use automation, they're using software, and they're really smart at the game they play. I believe that they're making the most ethical and responsible money that you can in the entire wholesaling game. So if you've been fascinated by real estate, or you're a subscriber to my channel because you love everything real estate, and you say, Kris, I get what you're talking about all the long-term buy and hold stuff. I want to do some of that, but I got to get me some seed capital for doing that. I got to get me some seed capital for increasing my lifestyle or having more investable cash. And if you feel that way, wholesaling is a sweet gig that you do part-time on the side that within months can get you out of your job and honestly turn financially into one of the greatest cash cow financial blessings. If you're needing some of that dough in your life, click the link below. Let me show you where to get 100% access to everything that you're looking for wholesaling. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. But more importantly, if you're like, hey, I think I understand wholesaling, Kris, why do you do so much flipping? And more importantly, why do you do so much buy and hold? If you really want to understand that game and why I'm so deep in it, click here, watch this video, and I'm going to show you my favorite strategy of all time.